Babe, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. I just heard footsteps.
Ребята, смотрите.
I'm not liking the feel of this place. Really spooky.
Venturing into the woods alone at night can be terrifying. But what happens when you encounter someone or something you'd rather never meet? Like this first encounter from the YouTube channel Exploring with Bear. And that channel is led by Bear, an outdoorsman who turns long, quiet nights into patient investigations. And on this trip, he isn't alone. Together with his wife, the two have decided to embark on a wild camping adventure deep in the woods, and although they were aware of this area being known as Bigfoot territory, their evening grows far more tense than expected. What began as a simple plan, set up a small camp, listen, observe, and see what the night offers, quickly became a careful navigation of darkness, sound, and the uneasy feeling that the trees might be holding more than wind.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, home sweet home, babe.
I'm actually feeling like this has been quite the adventure.
Already, we ain't even there yet.
Oh my gosh.
That's covering the whole campground. That's bent just like that when they're both just bent over sitting
Are you
there.
gonna drive through that?
As they leave the main road, they follow a narrow, overgrown track where visibility drops and branches brush the car. Near the end, a few bent trees arch over the path and partly hide a small clearing. When they switch off the headlights, it's fully dark, the tree line blends together, and the woods settle into a low, steady hush. But even though the atmosphere feels uncomfortable, they keep positive, unload their gear, and start setting up a simple campsite for the night ahead.
So all I gotta do now is get the fire going. Check that arch out, babe. That is a big sign in the Sasquatch community of Bigfoot. I guess they do things like that. I know, that's creepy, ain't it?
Satellite?
It's like a satellite dish, yeah.
With the campfire crackling and their sleeping spot set up, the night finally settles in. The warm light from the flames softens the edges of the surrounding forest, creating a small circle of comfort in the middle of the dark. The stories they've heard about strange creatures roaming these woods still linger quietly in the back of their minds. But for the moment, everything feels calm. They talk, laugh a little, and try to focus on the quiet rhythm of the fire. But the stillness doesn't last for long. As they decide to wander around a bit, faint and irregular sounds begin to drift in from the tree line. Soft at first, just enough to make them pause and listen.
You got the camera on?
Yes.
Right after you said that, I heard something running out there.
I know.
Oh, right over there. What? It was running. I don't know running, but it was like a fast 4 or 5 steps I heard. Whoa! Phew. Scared the crap out of me.
It's like a bug.
Ugh.
With an ear.
I had one fly right down my throat earlier. All right.
What freak was that?
I don't know. What was that?
A strange hissing sound breaks through the quiet, faint but clear enough to catch their attention.
All right.
freak was that?
I don't know. What was that?
Of course, it could have been some kind of animal, something ordinary and explainable. But for Bear and his wife, it has the opposite effect. It sharpens the tension, making the darkness beyond the fire feel closer than before. At the same time, it stirs their curiosity, leaving them quietly wondering what exactly could be out there, just beyond the light.
Something's moving right over there. You heard that too? I have no idea. Come on, try. Oh. Oh, you can see the glow of the fire way down there. Yeah. Whoa, wait a minute. Is there a light moving around our fire, our camp? Put your light down for a second. Where's that light coming from? Is there somebody there? Holy crap. Wow, something was, did you hear that? Okay, come on. I don't know, man. Where's that? It looks like somebody's there.
Back toward camp, a glow flickers where only their own fire should be. A wobbling suggestion of movement that looks like light passing behind something rather than wind touching flame. So without hesitation, they head back, hoping it is just their imagination playing tricks on them.
Hold on. So when we were back there, I swore I seen like the shadow, like there's something moving. Like there was a shift in the light. Like something moved. That was a scream in the woods.
Jerry.
That was a scream.
Okay, let's go.
Come on. Hold on.
Coyotes?
No, that was a person screaming. I thought I seen something moving by our fire. That confirms somebody's out here. That was screaming. That was a person. That was not coyotes. Oh my goodness. Duber. I don't know now. Now there's nothing. That was like two sets of... That was a woman screaming. It almost sounded like a guy hollering for a minute too, didn't it? Okay, so we made it back in the tent, and we've actually just been sitting here. I had the camera on, but nothing happened too, so I'm probably just going to cut a lot of that footage out. But we've just been sitting here in the tent listening for a little while now, and no more screams or nothing. I wonder what time it is. Probably like 3 a.m., huh? Probably about 3 a.m. now. Tiff woke up at 4 a.m. this morning, so she's been up for 24 hours now. She worked at the hospital today and come out Bigfoot hunting with me. So you ready? You ready to lay it down? It's sort of peaceful right now. You can hear the fire. Besides the screaming going on in the woods and all that.
Feeling cozy and a little more at ease, they decide it's time to get some sleep. The fire has burned low, the forest has grown quieter, and for a moment, it almost feels like any other night outdoors. But what they don't know is that the calm won't last. Something is about to break the stillness, and the most unsettling part of their night is still ahead.
It's probably been like another half hour. It's probably like 3:30 or a little later than that. Tiff's not really snoring, but she's sleeping. But it sounded like something was moving around out there a little bit ago. But then, just a minute ago, there was another scream. And it's probably been at least an hour since that last scream, if not longer. There's footsteps. Babe, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. I just heard footsteps, and there was some kind of tree just thrown or something, or shook. No, 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 wake up, wake up, wake up. I'm serious. I'm serious. Wake up. I'm dead serious. Sit up. I don't want you to go back to sleep. Did you hear that? Listen, listen. There's footsteps out there. Do you hear them moving? Wake up. Are you awake?
The comfort was clearly gone now, especially for Bear. The night had shifted into something far more uneasy. And even though they didn't know it yet, the worst was still to come.
Listen. Listen, listen. Hey, do you hear that? Oh! It's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay.
The flashlight, where's the gun?
I got the gun, I got the gun, I got the gun. Hey, we're armed.
We gotta go.
Find the light, find the light. Listen, it's got a light, it's got a light. Okay, here's your boots. You got your boots. Freaking lazy.
Go. Let's go.
That's
right now.
dragon.
Okay, let's go. Come on. No, come on.
Okay. Where's the freaking flashlight? Damn it. Okay. Alright. Hey! Telling you. Okay. Man, I can't get the flashlight to work. Get the camera.
Where's the camera?
Just in case anything happens.
Where's the camera?
It's on the...
Maybe his warning that he was armed was enough to scare them off, or maybe whoever, or whatever it was, had simply decided to leave. Either way, the message was clear. Neither he nor his wife wanted to stay another second. They quickly agreed to leave their gear behind, choosing safety over their belongings. With only the essentials in hand, they left the campsite, planning to return in the morning to collect what they'd left behind, if it was still there. Morning revealed no signs of the night's chaos. The tent stood untouched, their belongings right where they had left them, and the clearing looked as ordinary as ever. It was the kind of ordinary that made what happened feel both undeniable and strangely private, like the forest itself had simply absorbed the night. So what do you think disturbed them that night? Could it have been the infamous Bigfoot said to roam these woods? Or was it someone, or something, else lurking just out of sight? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But as tense as that night was for Bear and his wife, they're not the only ones who felt watched in the dark. This next story takes us to another place where silence feels less like calm, and more like a warning. And that takes us to Frank, the face behind Franco TV, a channel known for late-night explorations in places many people would rather avoid after dark. And in this episode, He sets out to spend the night at a remote cemetery hidden deep in the woods, hoping to capture any sign of paranormal activity. But as the night unfolds, what he experiences goes far beyond what he expected. An encounter filled with strange sounds, unsettling discoveries, and a growing sense that something in the forest might be watching him. Even before he reaches the heart of the cemetery, the atmosphere makes itself known. The forest is dense, the light from his flashlight narrow, and the silence heavy. It's the kind of stillness that doesn't feel empty. It feels expectant, as if something unseen is already aware of him.
There's my flashlight. So I have a good look around this place. That's creepy. One thing for sure is that every time I come out here, I always get like this Blair Witch vibes. The other thing, I'm already hearing something. Okay. I'm already spooked out going through here. I just heard her knocking. 100% I just heard her knocking. Hello? My life. There's a knocking coming from within the forest right now. I heard it right over here.
At first, it's easy to dismiss. A branch, a bird, the kind of noise you hear when you want to rationalize the unknown. But the sounds are too heavy, too deliberate, and it doesn't stop. It echoes through the trees, coming from somewhere beyond the reach of his light. But still, Frank presses on, holding on to the hope that whatever is out there is something paranormal rather than someone, or something, made of flesh and blood.
Oh God. Oh God. That's somebody's puppy. That's their dog. They're unburied for some reason. Someone like unburied somebody's dog. That's his teeth right there. Poor thing. One thing that makes me nervous on going in here is that as soon as you step in, it's like all the trees stop moving, the birds stop moving. All the animals are just watching me as if they're waiting to see what's gonna happen, you know? Like if they're watching like another predator getting ready to get me. And that would be like I'm just thinking of the mountain lion. But I am getting other things that are not mountain lions. So right now I just heard what sound like branches and something kind of shuffling through the forest. Right in front of me. Damn it. It sounded big too. Listen. What the hell is that? I'm hearing bangs now.
The forest itself seems to change the moment he steps into this part of the cemetery. The air thickens, The natural movement of wildlife seems to pause, and it's as if the entire place holds its breath. In that silence, he hears branches shifting again. Whatever is making all those sounds, it isn't trying to be quiet.
Listen. It's coming from here. Oh, that's creepy. That sounds like somebody saying you. The thing is that vegetation is super dense right in front of me, so I can't really see past that area. It sounds human. Hola.
A voice-like sound rises from the tree line, faint and stretched out, as though it's trying to imitate a person. The vegetation ahead is dense, making it impossible to see more than a few feet ahead, and the sound coming from behind those trees is unlike anything he's heard here before. But still, it isn't enough to make Frank leave. Determined as he is, he pushes forward, unwilling to turn back just yet.
So I just had to back out of the forest for a second. This happened again with the cameras off. This is all happening like randomly. But I just heard what sounded like a loud sound of a baby crying deep from the forest. I want to see if you guys could hear it. I'm going to keep quiet for a second. What? Something's in there. Something definitely is in there. I'm gonna turn on my flashlight. Let's turn on the IR. Holy shit. I am literally creeped out to the bone right now. What the f*** is that? I am ready to run. I got all my gear on me just in case. Holy shit.
Things only grew more tense, and the sound surrounding him made Frank understandably uneasy. This wasn't what he had come for. He was here to search for the paranormal, not to encounter something living.
Figure out what the hell I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk a little bit closer. What the fuck? Something's moving in there.
At this moment, it was all getting a little too much for Frank. The sounds, the movement, and the growing sense of being surrounded had worn on him. So, he decided to change his approach. Rather than pushing deeper through the same unnerving path, he checked his GPS and found an alternate off-road route that would bring him closer to the cemetery from another direction. It was a practical decision. one that would give him a safer way in, and more importantly, a faster way out if he needed it.
So now I'm parked here towards the other side. This is getting closer towards the city area. I had to go off-road with this thing. But I found a better route, so that way I'm a little bit more safer, so I could just get the hell out if worst case scenario type of thing. This is the forest right here in front of me. I made it all the way back out. That's one of the entrances that leads you to it. I am going to be honest, I'm scared. I am a little bit closer right now. I'm just next to the truck. And I am still hearing this thing saying Aki. And that means that I'm right here or over here. Like over here. And at the same time, well, see, there it is again. And I'm hearing movement in the forest, I swear, and I'm not seeing anything. But I could hear movement in there, and it's like in multiple areas. I do not feel safe going inside right now by myself. Hello? I'm gonna turn on my flashlight. There it is. You hear it? Try to get a little bit closer again, but I can't go inside. I'm like watering up right now for how freaking creepy this is.
Even from beside his truck, the noises continue. Short, repeated phrases that seem to drift from one side of the forest to the other. He watches the tree line closely, yet no figures appear, only sound and suggestion.
I see it. Oh my god, I just heard it over here. I'm gonna zoom out. Again, this is just another part of the cemetery on the backside. There's still more that goes way deeper inside, but I don't feel safe. Okay, so I've made it closer towards the front. I am grabbing every bit of energy that I can to do this, because I'm already like kind of freaked out. I want to finish this. I'm just happy I found another way I could come in here and not have to go through the same way from back there. There's the knocking again. ¿Cómo se llama? There's somebody back there. There's people here. Alright, at this point now, I am going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's about 4 to 5 in the morning right now. The sun's going to be up soon. And I am freaking out. My anxiety levels are through the... What the f*** is that? Holy shit. Nope. Give me a second. That was close. I am not sure what the hell is going on with this place.
Standing near the entrance, Frank finally decides to call it a night. What began as an attempt to capture evidence has left him uneasy, with more questions than answers. Frank entered the cemetery hoping to find proof of something paranormal. What he found instead was a night of sounds that seemed way more human, and a forest that never fully revealed what it was holding. So, what do you think disturbed him out there? Let me know your thoughts. What Frank experienced was unsettling, but at least it happened under the open sky. This next encounter takes us somewhere far more confined, where the darkness isn't just around you. It's above, below, and closing in. And that takes us to the Russian YouTube channel Beyond, which features Nick, an explorer who documents his journeys through some of the most unsettling and abandoned places he can find. In this particular episode, Nick and his friends decide to venture into a network of narrow underground caves while being on a camping trip together. The passages are so tight that at one point, Nick is forced to remove his backpack just to squeeze through the rocky tunnel. While he struggles with his gear, his friends keep moving ahead, their voices fading deeper into the darkness. But when he calls out to them, no one answers.
Ребята! Ребят! Ребят!
Nick suddenly finds himself completely alone, surrounded by rock on all sides. To move forward, he has no choice but to crawl on his stomach beneath clusters of sleeping bats clinging to the ceiling. The space is so confined that every small sound seems amplified, echoing through the tunnel around him.
Плиты с дырками. Ой, блядь, какая хуйня там. Ой, бля, я так испугался, ребята. Смотрите.
As he pushes deeper into the cave, strange things begin to happen. His camera suddenly starts malfunctioning, glitching as he films a small alcove in the wall, an area that seems otherwise unremarkable, but something about it clearly interferes with his equipment.
Мне кажется, ребята пошли не сюда. Вообще тупик. Ой, блядь. Да, это камень. Да хули я так боюсь. Видите эту херню? Сейчас вам ее покажу. Что с камерой? Как будто моторчик камеры завелся и начал ходить.
A moment later, as Nick tries to climb a rocky ledge to continue forward, loose stones begin to fall from above. It almost looks as though someone, or something, might be deliberately tossing them down.
А теперь в такую же гору надо подниматься. Ох. Ребят!
Then, his flashlight starts to flicker and fade. In the pitch-black silence, a sudden sharp noise cuts through the air. It's loud and close enough to make him panic and run through the darkness, unsure of where he's going. The tunnels feel endless, twisting and disorienting.
К моменту я хочу сказать, что здесь тупик, и мне надо возвращаться побыстрее назад. Ай! Фух.
Eventually, Nick decides to stop searching for his friends and turn back toward the entrance. But when he reaches the spot where he left his backpack, things have changed. His belongings have clearly been disturbed. Something, or someone, has been going through his gear.
Ой, все. Да ну подождите, ребята. Что за бред? Блин. Что за... Что за... Ребята. Меня все вытащили из рюкзака. Вроде ничего не взяли. Ребят, здесь кто-нибудь есть, ребят?
Later, while reviewing the footage, Nick notices something he hadn't seen in the moment. Two glowing eyes peering out from the darkness behind him. Whether they belong to an animal, a trick of the light, or something else entirely is unclear. The footage is unsettling, but it doesn't provide definitive answers. Nick captured some strange moments on camera that night, but are they evidence of something unexplained, or just natural coincidences inside a dark, echoing cave system? And those glowing eyes, were they really watching him? Or could they have been nothing more than reflective stones catching the beam of his light at just the right angle? You decide. Nick's experience underground left more questions than answers, and this next story is no different. But here, the mystery doesn't hide in caves. It sits right out in the open, in a place that's been whispered about for decades. And before we get into this next story, a little background. Deep in the woods of Bear Creek, North Carolina, there's a mysterious clearing known as Devil's Tramping Ground. It's a perfectly round circle of earth, roughly 40 feet in diameter. What makes it so unsettling is that despite the dense forest around it, nothing grows inside the circle. Researchers have studied the area, but no one has been able to find a clear scientific explanation for why the ground is so barren. Local legend, however, has its own story. It's said that the ground is cursed. Visitors have claimed to hear faint whispers in the night, voices that seem to come from nowhere. Some who dared to sleep inside the circle reported waking up miles away with no memory of how they got there. Others speak of dark, shadowy figures lurking at the edge of the clearing, watching from the tree line but never stepping inside. Among those who have explored the site is a YouTuber who goes by the name Kevin the Custodian Ghost Hunter. He's been investigating alleged hauntings for over 16 years, and during all that time, he says he's never actually captured anything on camera. That changed when he visited Devil's Tramping Ground with his daughter Jade. What happened next wasn't planned, it wasn't staged, it was something that showed up in the background of his footage, completely by accident.
I had to get out here in a hurry.
As Kevin films the clearing, something unusual seems to move along the tree line. It's faint, but distinct enough to catch the eye, just as countless other visitors have claimed to see before.
I had to get out here in a hurry.
After reviewing the footage for possible edits or obvious tricks, it doesn't appear to be manipulated. Whatever it was really there. That's not to say it couldn't have a natural explanation, fog, mist, or even light distortion. But it's unlike any fog most people have seen. So what do you think? Did Kevin and his daughter unknowingly capture something lurking just beyond the circle? Or was it nothing more than an odd patch of mist drifting through the trees? While Kevin's night at Devil's Tramping Ground was defined by one chilling moment caught on camera, sometimes it isn't what you see that unsettles you. It's what lingers out of sight, just beyond explanation. Just as for this next solo camper. The Canham's Outdoors is run by a man who prefers to spend his time in nature. His videos are usually calm, positive, and filled with the simple pleasure of solo camping. But this trip was different. What began as an ordinary summer evening slowly turned into one of the most unsettling nights he's experienced outdoors. The adventure begins in broad daylight. The quarry is quiet and open, with rolling ground and scattered wildlife moving through the brush. Rabbits and rams cross his path as he explores the area, searching for the perfect spot to set up his hammock for the night. The sun is warm, the air still, and everything feels peaceful. Exactly the kind of place he normally enjoys.
Looks really nice around here. Yeah, a little bit of a walk in. Yeah, it's really nice. So quiet. Can't hear much of the road either. So yeah, it's good to be back out. Just got to try and find a spot. Found a little spot here, I think this will work. Just put the one side on there. Short walk to this one. It's really thin but so solid. Shouldn't go anywhere.
After some walking, he finds a suitable place between two trees. From a distance, he can see faint tracks in the dirt, but no sign of people nearby. As he sets up camp, the evening light softens and the quarry grows even quieter. He unpacks his gear, puts up his chair, and starts preparing for a simple night under the stars. But as the sun begins to set, that sense of peace slowly shifts.
So quiet in here. Quite sort of eerie. A bit spooky. But yeah, it's been about 23 degrees today. Bloody hell, it's been hot. I was in an hour and about coming here. It's just too hot. Keep hearing things. Can you hear that? Peacock. Birds going crazy. I'm quite out in the open here. I'm not really tucked away in a little corner. You know. Should make it work.
Small sounds, distant rustling, faint movements start to stand out. What should be a calm night begins to feel slightly uneasy. But he convinces himself it's just his mind playing tricks on him and chooses to focus on the good things around him instead.
Yeah, look at that. Nice. I can hear something. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a badger or something snooping about. Really strange. Don't know what it is. I'm not liking the feeling of this place. Really spooky. I'll catch you in a bit.
The noises get harder to ignore. Something rustles just outside of the light's reach, and at one point he recalls hearing what sounded like a woman talking when he first arrived, though no one was there. It could be an animal, the wind, or nothing at all, but the atmosphere doesn't feel the same anymore.
Every now and again I hear noise. Just don't feel right to me. Yeah, I think we're going to pack her up and get out of here. Drink my hot chocolate and get out of here, I think. It's not right. It's happened to me before. Yeah, once before, it just didn't feel right. Felt like someone was sort of watching me, so I just packed up and got out of there.
As darkness fully sets in, the unease grows stronger. He's no stranger to camping alone, but this night feels different. The sounds come and go, never close enough to identify, never far enough to dismiss. It's the kind of tension that doesn't need a clear explanation. It just settles in, quietly and relentlessly.
Yeah, it's not right. Shame. Looking forward to sleeping in that hammock. But you just never know, do you? Yeah, it's too spooky. I just don't feel right. I think I'm going to get out of here. I just feel like someone's watching me. Every now and again there's a noise. seems the sort of place where you get rid of a dead body as well. I'm just constantly looking round. I'm not usually like that. That noise again. It's not the peacock. I can listen to that peacock all night, beautiful. But I'm going to drink my hot chocolate, get packed up. I'm not even going to video it. And I'll get back to you when I'm at the van.
He decides to pack up and leave. On the way back to his van, he spots a massive stag in the darkness, most likely just wildlife. But by then, the feeling of being watched has already set its mark. What started as a bright, warm summer evening ended in a quiet, creeping discomfort he couldn't shake. That night, nothing stepped out of the dark. No one spoke. And yet, the feeling of unseen eyes was enough to make him walk away. In the end, he chose to trust his gut. And more often than not, that's the right thing to do when something just doesn't feel right. So what do you think? Was it simply the stillness of the quarry playing tricks on him? Or was something really out there, hidden just beyond the light? That quiet sense of unease is something many outdoorsmen know well. And as we head into our final story, Luke, someone who spends more time in the wild than most, found himself facing that same feeling again, in a place he already knew all too well. The Outdoor Gear Review is the channel run by Luke, a man who loves the outdoors just as much as his channel name suggests. He spends countless hours in the wild, testing gear, hiking and camping in some of the most remote and quiet corners of North Carolina. But on this trip, things didn't stay quiet for long.
Hi friends, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. I hope you all are doing well. There is a big storm towards the south here. Basically, I hiked into the area just as it was ending. So there's water dripping from the trees, everything is soaking wet, and it looks like there may be a repeat. It is very dark, very ominous towards the north, and that's the direction these storms are coming from.
The hike begins like any other. Birds calling, water dripping from the trees after a passing storm. The kind of calm that makes the forest feel alive. And this isn't the first time he's been here. On a previous trip, he spent the night in the same area and heard footsteps circling his camp long after dark. But it was what he found the next morning that left him uneasy. A massive tree placed directly across the game trail he'd used to reach camp. It wasn't there before, and it didn't appear to have fallen naturally. There were no drag marks, no disturbed ground, and the roots were clean. Whatever moved that tree was strong enough to carry or drag it, and to this day, he has no explanation for it. But still, his curiosity has drawn him back to these woods.
I could have swore I heard something walking through the forest. It came from over here. Let's go check it out. It's one of those things where I want to approach stuff like I want to be quiet, but I can't. We do have black bear in this area, and coming across some cubs and mom, that's not a good idea.
The trees here are so dense that even if something were only a few meters away, he wouldn't see it. He pauses, scans the tree line, but the forest gives nothing back, just silence, thick and unmoving. So hoping for the best, he presses on, venturing deeper into the woods. But later, while sheltering beneath a small tarp during a passing storm, the stillness is broken again.
It's becoming foggy, not super foggy, but enough to give it a creepy atmosphere up here. Without a doubt, the brunt of the storm is moving away. And that's okay. We're getting just a little bit of rain. It's cooling things down. I'm hearing something. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but it sounds like footsteps. A tree just came down. It sounded like footsteps and like cracking wood. I think I just saw something move way back behind those trees. I am positive I saw something. We will hike over there once I'm finished up with lunch here. Unfortunately, everything in this forest is fallen and broken.
The footsteps and wood snapping in the distance are brief and unclear, but enough to remind him he isn't entirely alone out here. And so, after the storm, he searches the area to find the source of the noise.
Everyone, let's go see if we can find that fallen tree. Today, everyone, has been interesting. More mysteries for the green forest. There are so many fallen trees. I don't know where to look. Over here is where I believe I heard the sound coming from. But I mean, look at this. There are hundreds of trees down. Hundreds.
The forest offers no answers. There are too many fallen trees, too many places where something or someone could have been. It's the kind of mystery the woods are good at keeping. And so, the day ends as it began, quiet, heavy with questions. Luke is no stranger to strange experiences in the wild, but this one lingers a little longer than most. So what do you think was out there with him that day? Just another animal hidden by the thick forest, or something that didn't want to be seen? As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Now that was all for today, folks. If you enjoyed these horrifying clips, click to see more on the video on screen.